Hello everyone, this is Gage from Arnor and Smith, and today I'm going to bring you guys another Third Age Reforged online multiplayer battle replay. This one is a 3 versus 3, and it was sent to me by Bobo16k, so a big thank you to him before we get into this. I actually did just get moved into my new house, so I am trying to unpack things and work around all that, so it has been very hard to try to get a replay, and I was unfortunate enough to not be able to get one last week, so Bobo16k kindly enough was able to send me one that was actually very close. I do not know who wins. By the way, he just told me that it was within 8% whoever won, so that's always nice. But I have played on this map before, never a 3 versus 3, and I was actually surprised enough to hear that both teams actually had the same money, mostly because both the Spartan and Revan of Korriban actually have these really nice hills to defend, so it's very easy for them to defend with their pretty nice archers, especially as Dale, because they have some really excellent archers. So, yeah, I was actually very surprised to hear that the teams actually did have the same amount of money. But anyway, before we get any further, I will go ahead and start off with the army compositions, beginning with Bobo16k's, because he did send me the replay. So, back here is where he has most of his elite stuff. He has one unit of the Serpent Guard Light Cavalry, not the Bodyguard unit, just the normal Serpent Guard, so they can get shot down because they do not have hit points, but they are very quick and do have a nice charge bonus. You can see the general right there. He also has 2 units of the incredibly fierce Trollmen of Harad. They are nice because they do have hit points, really nice attack and defense values, and they are AP, and because they have shields, they are not easily skirmished down unless it is by crossbows. Back here he also has 2 units of Muhad Berserkers, another nice AP unit. Harad is probably one of my favorite evil faction just because they have so much AP. Really the only thing they lack is a lot of armor and maybe lasting capability, because they can die off very quickly, but they do an incredible amount of damage in short areas of time if allowed to do so. He also has one of the Muhad tribesmen, who are nice because they are AP once they are in melee. They have tiny little maces. And then down here he has most of his infantry. He has 4 units of the Dismounted Serpent Guard, who are an incredibly cost-efficient unit. They have 19 attack, 34, 35 something defense, and they have a lot of men in the unit. They also have shields, of course. They are hard to skirmish down. He also has 3 units, I believe, of the Southhorn Warband. They are nice because they are AP. However, they do have relatively low defense values. They are a spearman unit, and for a spearman unit, they do have a very high attack value of 16, which makes them very, very deadly. He also has 4 units of the Haradrim archers. These guys are only 250 florins each, 5 missile damage, it's all single-digit attack and defense values and charge bonus. But, you know, they're okay, I guess, for soaking up enemy archer fire. I mean, they will die pretty much instantaneously. You'll see that happen very quickly here by these incredibly excellent Daelian marksmen. But anyway, they are nice, I guess, if you want to have some volley, large volley fire. And they also, like I said before, can soak up some nice arrow fire. Well, not really soak it up. They mostly just die so instantly by it. But you know, at least that's arrows to these really cheap units, not into your expensive ones. But the next army we'll go over is the army of Arnor, being commanded by Kurgan. I do apologize if I say your name wrong. I'm not the best with that. Anyway, so he has 3 units of Arnor men-at-arms, very cheap. Not the best infantry unit, to be honest with you, but he does have him here in shield wall. I assume he was just trying to make them soak up archer fire. And back here he's got most of his more elite stuff. He only has 1 unit of... Oh, no. I was going to say he only has 1 unit of archers, but I actually believe he does have some hidden Dunedain rangers somewhere over here. So he has 1 unit of the Dunedain bodyguard, which is not where his general is. He has 1 unit of ballista. He has 2 units of knights of Numanos, who are probably one of the best cavalry units in the game. They can just bowl over lines of pretty much anything unless it's a full-on pike, but even then... I would still probably favor the Knights of Numanos. He also has 6 units of the Arthedain men-at-arms, a very cost-effective sword and shield unit, much better than something like Gondor infantry or the Arnor men-at-arms. They also are not too expensive. You can actually get 6 of them before the price is increased. That's always very nice. Back here he has 2 units of a dismounted Dunedain Knights. They also have hit points. They have hit points, and they also have a sword and shield. He also has 1 unit of the Bodyguards unit, which is where his general is. You can see him right there. And over here you can see his other unit of Knights of Numanos, and now we'll go over to the last army, which is being commanded by Declan Gardner. He's commanding an army of Isengard. He also might actually have a few hidden units, I'm not too sure. He has 1 unit of Warg Skirmishers here in the forest. He also has a unit of Champions of the White Hand somewhere around here. No, they're over there. Sorry. He also has 1 unit of the normal Nazkai, not the Nazkai Bodyguard. This is the variant that does not have a shield, but a few more men in the unit, and actually... does have nice, really high attack values. They can really get work done if they're allowed to get in the melee. However, they can get skirmished down very easily by something like crossbows. He also has 4 units of Urkai infantry on shield wall right here. He has 1 unit of the Dunlanding Wild Berserkers. Not a unit that I see too often in most Isengard armies. They're only 400 or something, but they are nice because they are AP. but they can get skirmished down very easily. Back here he has 3 units of the very fearsome Uruk-hai crossbows, 2 units of guards of Orthanc, one is here, the other is in the trees, and in the very back line he has 3 units of Uruk-hai pikemen and 1 unit of a catapult. I don't know why I said 1 unit of catapult, it's more just 1 catapult, but oh well. And then up here he has the Uruk-hai archers, 1 unit of them, and then 2 units of Dununding clansmen, who you're going to see get shot at by a lot of runic archers. Yes, there's his guards of Orthanc. Anyway, we'll now go over here, well, we'll start off the army compositions of these players. The first one is being commanded by Brexy. He is commanding the army of Rhun. He has 3 units of Alok Flagrim, 2 units of Alok Scionrim, 4 units of Alok Narim, 1 down here, the other 3 are like curving up on that hill. They have a very nice position to fire down on the Isengard forces. He also has 3 units of Alok Gamprim. Oh, it might actually be like 4. Must have counted those wrong. Anyway, he also has 2 units of the Variag Raiders. Again, I don't see these guys too often in runic armies. I really don't see horse archers pretty much at all most of the time when I play. But they're a pretty low tier horse archer unit that can get skirmished down very easily. But I guess if you go after some of the shock infantry, they can get some pretty nice work done. He also has 1 unit of Ballista, 1 unit of Clansmen, and back here he has his Camul's Dragon Knights and Camul's Chosen, and his other unit of Variag Raiders. His general is, by the way, in this unit of Camul's Dragon Knights. And we'll go over here now to one of the, over here, my bad, to another of the defending armies, you could say. This one is being commanded by Revan of Korriban. He has 4 units of the Nerniag infantry, 2 down there, and then 1 on either of these hills. They are very nice because they do have like 11 missile damage. They're not bad in melee, and I believe they do have a shield bonus, which makes them quite hard to skirmish down. And then over here you can see he has 1 of the Brotherhood of the Lance, which is where his general is, 1 unit of the Wind Riders of Khan, and 1 unit of the Nurad Cataphracts. And this much cavalry actually will be very effective against Harad, especially because he only brought 1 unit of Serpent Guard, who will not be able to deal with pretty much anything except for maybe the Wind Riders, even though they probably wouldn't be able to catch them because they're so fast. However, the Knights of Numinos and the Bodyguard probably will be able to take out these all this cavalry without a whole lot of trouble, especially if they are given some archer support. Anyway, he also has 5 units of Nurad Militia. Pretty much the only good thing you can say about them is that they have some pretty awesome hats and shields. He has 4 units of them right here in Shield Wall, and the other one, I believe, is up here. Yeah, it's like hidden up here somewhere, trying to defend this ramp. And we'll go back over here just to look at the more elite of his infantry. He has 1 unit of the Brotherhood of the Axe, 1 unit of Variag Warriors, 1 unit of the Brotherhood of the Sword, and 4 units of the Nurad Footmen, who are really, really good. They're only like 700 foringe or something. They have like 19 attack, 40 defense, and they are actually AP, so they are a very, very nice Khandish infantry unit. And we'll now go over here to the last defending army. I guess you could call it defending. He has 3 units of the Dalian Marksmen, who have a shield bonus in they do have a shield bonus, which makes them hard to skirmish down. They also have a axe when they are in melee, which makes them AP, so they are a very, very deadly unit, both in melee and at range. He also has 2 units of the very, very swift Dalian cavalry. They can get skirmished down relatively easy, though, and in a cav-to-cav engagement, they will lose most of the time. You can see this is where his other 2 units of Dalian Marksmen are. He also has 1 unit of he also has his Ballista up here, and his General's unit of the Royal Guard over here. You can see the General right there. He looks very, very cool. Actually, yeah, he is in the Royal Guard. He's not in the Marksman. Anyway, back here is where he has most of his infantry, because he has most of his infantry back here, because the only way actually that Harad can get up here is through this one hill. This one hill, that's it, unless they go all the way around. So actually, I believe this might be rather of a mistake of him not to put any infantry up here, because he doesn't have anything to hold back the forces of Harad should they get up here. So he's going to have to run his infantry all the way around and across this bridge if he wants to be able to stop the Harad from getting up there. But anyway, his main infantry force consists of 2 units of dismounted Earls, 2 units of Barding Herd, 1 unit of Dalian Paladins, 4 units of Dalian Spearmen. They have like 11 attack, 32 defense, but they are actually AP, which makes them very nice. And then over here, he has 1 unit of the Earls. They are very nice heavy cav. They do not have lances, but they still do have a very deadly charge, and since they are melee cav, they are very good in cav-to-cav engagements. So without any further ado, we will go ahead and start off by watching tons and tons of these poor Haradrim archers just get instantly skirmished down by the Dalian Marksmen and a little bit of the Nerniag infantry. You can see this unit already got down to 134. I believe that Boba 16K is actually trying to shoot the ballista crew of the Spartan, who is commanding Dale. I don't know if I said that. Yeah, he's actually trying to fire his catapult over there as well. Unfortunately for him, though, he does not really have the artillery advantage. He does have his cavalry, or he does have his catapult way up there, but the ballista is also on a very nice hill as well. Yes, he is trying to skirmish down to the ballista crew. And yes, the ballista is going to return fire at that catapult. Probably going to take it out if Bobo 16K is not careful. Oh, I did not even... I'm sorry, guys. I'm still so messed up from moving. Forgot to say that Bobo 16K also has units of Variag Lancers. They're not bad. They can get skirmished down because they don't have a shield, but they are effective against other cavalry. Yes, you can see Rhun of Korriban moving out a lot of his infantry, trying to get into a more open position to advance his troops. You can see Bobo 16K is also bringing forward some Southern Warband, probably trying to maybe stop the Nerad militia. No, it looks like he's just going to try to rush them. Oh, but he's going to get charged right by those Dalian cavalry. This probably, you can see that a lot of the Southern Warband did go down in the initial charge, but because the Southern Warband are effective against cavalry, they were actually able to take out quite a lot of that Dalian cavalry. Yeah, that unit now down to 91 and shaken, but they should be able to recover without too much problems. And you can see the Variag Lancers are also there trying to help taking out those Dalian cavalry. You can see the Nerad militia taking up the main battle line in shield wall along with the Nerad footmen. The Nerad militia will get absolutely wrecked by that charge. You can see a lot of them going down right there. Even in shield wall, they're still going to get absolutely wrecked because they are just so terrible. No offense to the Nerad militia, they look cool. They are, of course, very cheap as well. I should say that. I think we'll look over here because I believe this is where most of the fighting is going on at the moment between Dale and Harad. You can see a lot. Yeah, you can see already most of the Harad archers are down, have been shot down by the Dalian marksmen. So the Dalian marksmen are definitely winning this skirmish phase right now. Bobo 16K is going to be very careful with his infantry advance so that he does not get skirmished down instantly. Because the main bad thing about the Southern Warband actually is they can get skirmished down relatively easily. Their shields are rather small. I don't know if the actual size of the shield matters, but I believe there is a shield bonus, and theirs is really not that substantial compared to something like the Arnor men-at-arms or Arthur men-at-arms. You can see that Bobo 16K is trying to help out Corrigan because it looks like actually Rhun of Korriban is charging actually rather than taking up a defensive position over here, which is nice because the money, like I said, was even, so it is nice that he actually is deciding to charge out. You can see some Nerad footmen are absolutely destroying those Arnor men-at-arms over here. Nerad militia are even doing decently well against these Arnor men-at-arms. And 128 Nerad militia breaking after trying to take out these Arthurian men-at-arms, but they were absolutely rebuffed quite easily. Yes, here are the Dunedain Rangers. You can see that. Oh, Bobo 16K. No, yeah, Bobo 16K brought over, looks like 2 units of dismounted Serpent Guard and a lot of Southern Warband to help out Arnor. You can see that Rhun of Korriban does notice that Harad is bringing a lot of infantry over here, so he's trying to kind of make a box, but I believe he kind of stuck his neck out too far with this kind of defense, so he is going to pay for that. Getting a slight charge from those Variag Lancers, but was able to deal with them without many problems. So he also has his Nerad cataphracts over here. It looks over there like Isengard and Rhun are just in the skirmish phase right now, so I don't think we'll go over to that for a little bit. Southern Warband charging into these Nerad militia, but getting charged in return by the Nerad cataphracts. So over here, I definitely feel like Rhun probably brought his units out too far. Maybe if he just brought them like out maybe right around here where his Nerniag infantry is, he would probably have been able to fare better, because right now you can see he's just getting outflanked by Bobo 16K while the main front of his infantry is being engaged by Arnor. You see these Nerad footmen are actually facing the wrong way and so are going to get charged by a few of these Southern Warband who are trying to push their way through these Nerad militia. Over here, these Nerad footmen are cutting down these Arthurian men-at-arms with relative ease. Like I said, they are AP with like 19 attack and like 40 defense, so they are very good. The dismounted Serpent Guard are going to deal with the Nerad militia who are shaken, but you can see that these Nerad footmen are going to flank around these Serpent Guard without much problem. However, you can see that the bodyguards and Knights of Enumas are being like activated, I guess you could say right now. They're trying to charge into these Nerad footmen to stop them from flanking around these dismounted Serpent Guard. Also looks like the Nerad cataphracts are being targeted by either the bodyguard or some Dunedain Rangers over here. Looks like the Brotherhood of the Lance and Wind Riders of Khan might be thinking about going over here to help out Rhun. Probably trying to get maybe a charge off on the skirmishers, but I do not think that's really going to happen. You can see that Isengard still has a very strong force of units in the trees, actually, that probably will be able to deal with any of the cav that's brought over here. You can see that looks like a lot of his Warg skirmishers were shot down. Oh, and the ballista taking some nice hits on those guards of Orthanc. Yeah, for the most part, nothing really important is going on over here, so I guess I'll go ahead and look over here at the fight between Khand and Arnor. Brotherhood of the Lance fighting against the Knights of Inumenos. The Knights of Inumenos will win, but they will take quite a few casualties in the process. You can see they're already down to 34. Even more of them going down as we speak. You're at Cataphracts down to 6. This unit of Knights of Inumenos is still at 40, so that's definitely going to be a problem for Khand. Arthur Men-at-Arms, like I said before, are getting cut down pretty quickly by these Nerad footmen. Serpent Guard are still trying to sneak their way around through these Nerad militia, but the Nerad militia are actually holding up admirably well. Kurgan, I don't know how to say that. Kurgan, I don't know. Whatever. Probably should commit this unit of Arthedain Men-at-Arms. They're right here to reinforce his line against these Arthedain Men-at-Arms are already down to 40, so he probably should commit them if he wants to take out these Nerad footmen. Or he should just go the whole 9 yards and go around and try to flank behind them. You can see a lot of Harad forces right here engaging against Khand. Brotherhood of the Sword and Brotherhood of the Axe are cutting down these dismounted Serpent Guard. You can see some Varag warriors are there as well. And the Nerniak infantry are still firing their bows. While over here, looks like the Spartan has actually ran out of ammo with his Dalian Marksman already, so probably not the best to go after those archers actually. Probably should have waited to go after something a little bit easier to shoot down like those berserkers. So he's actually going to commit his Dalian Marksman around the flank right here into these Haradrim forces, which is not a bad idea. However, they are going to get stopped by these Trollmen and Muhad berserkers. You can actually see that the Dunedain Rangers are also going to fire at their flanks right now. Muhad berserkers, there goes the Haradrim general actually. It looks like he was trying to charge into the back of the Brotherhood of the Axe and Sword and paid for it with his life. The Trollmen of Harad, backed up by these Muhad berserkers, will be able to deal with the Dalian Marksmen without a whole lot of trouble, but a lot of the berserkers probably will die. You can actually see some more Nerad militia being brought down. I believe those were the units that routed but then have come back. And a lot of the infantry of Dale is marching down the hill as we speak. A lot of spearmen actually. It looks like he still has a lot of his elites back here, like the paladins and dismounted earls. I don't know if that was actually Arnor. That might have been Arnor's general. I don't actually know. Because it looks like it was a... no, because I thought Arnor's general was actually in the unit of bodyguard, not the unit of dismounted Dunedain Knights. So maybe that was actually Khan's general. That's definitely a possibility. Nerad footmen routing. So it looks like right now Revan is going to have to try something just like absolutely miraculous right now, because you can see a lot of routing troops. One of Khan's main problems definitely is their low morale. You can see most of his infantry is pretty much gone. A lot of his cavalry is as well. Pretty much the only thing he has left is a few of these units of Nerniak infantry, as well as his Brotherhood of the Axe and Sword, who are starting to struggle against these Muhad berserkers. But with the support of these Dalian spearmen, they will be able to take them out. However, because Arnor over here is pretty much done fighting with Khand, they will be able to help out over here on this main area. And you can see, yes, that a lot of the infantry of Dale is fighting now against Bobo 16K's Haradrim that he brought back from over here that he had helped out with. Sorry, I'm still kind of feel insane after moving. A lot of long nights. So the Trollmen are actually getting surrounded, but as you can see, they are doing a really nice job of cutting down these Dalian Marksmen and Dalian Spearmen. They should be able to hold here for a very long time, unless these Nerad Assassins come around their flank. But I believe these Nerad Assassins are probably going to... yeah, I just don't know. I don't know if they're going to go over here and go after Harad, or if they're going to try to go all the way over here and go after Arnor. You can actually see that a lot of Arnor's forces are going over here to help out Harad now, because they have pretty much dealt with most of Khan's infantry. The Nerad Assassins are, of course, very deadly in melee, but they can get skirmished down incredibly easy. The Trollmen over here are still fighting strong, and then over there the Trollmen are just butchering those Spearmen and Dalian Marksmen. It was a kind of a large mistake by the Spartan to waste his ammo on those very cheap Haradrim archers, but it did work out very well in favor of Bobo 16K. You can actually see that the Earls of the Spartan are going after this unit of bodyguard. Not a terrible idea, but I believe that since Arnor already has such a cav advantage in the form of those Knights of the Numenous, who are significantly reduced. Yeah, this one's down to actually only 1 left, but this unit over here looks like it's still like 10 or something. So it would probably be better just to maybe cycle charge in the back of the main infantry line, or maybe try to go after the archers, which looks like it was what he's trying to do right now. You can see the Earls just tanking those fire arrows right now, but it looks like they're going to be stopped by these Arthedain men-at-arms. Yes, they are. These are swordsmen, not spearmen, so they will get run through pretty much, but they did a nice job of actually slowing down the Earls for a little bit anyway. So definitely the battle is turning in favor of Harad and Arnor over here. We'll take a look over here because I actually do seem to think there's a little bit more fighting over here. I thought I saw... No, I don't know. Yeah, it's pretty much still just going. It's just a really prolonged skirmish phase. However, look at this. The Variag Raiders, who are now out of ammo, actually charging into those Dunlending clansmen and Uruk-hai archers, trying to silence them. But if he leaves them in melee here, they will get cut down eventually. So he probably should just pull them out, especially because they are shaken. He probably just needs to pull them out and start cycle charging with them. We'll take another look over here because this is where the main action is definitely going on. You can actually see that a lot of Harad's forces, no, not a lot, I'm stupid. The javelin men, the Muhad tribesmen of Bobo 16K were able to sneak around up this hill, and they have an excellent position to fire down their javelins, hopefully at those Dalian paladins, who are definitely the most elite unit down there. Yes, they were just completely ignored by the general unit of the Spartan. The Royal Guard were just completely oblivious to the fact that these Muhad tribesmen are here about to javelin one of their best units. So if the Spartan wants to stop this, he's going to have to... Oh, nope, it's too late. It's too late. Yes, they threw their javelins straight at those Dalian paladins, taking out a huge number of a very expensive unit right there. Looks like they're trying to get in a little bit better of position. They did actually throw a few of their javelins into the ground, but still the Royal Guard are just ignoring them completely. So I believe that is a very big mistake by the Spartan, but he probably is preoccupied by all the infantry fighting down there. But that is definitely not a good thing at all for Dale. You see a lot of those paladins are down, and even more of them are bloodied up. So if he is allowed to throw those javelins over and over, if Bobo 16K is allowed to do that, he will be able to take out a lot of units right there. You can actually see that the Trollmen of Harad are pushing up this hill now, going to next cut down these Nurniag infantry that are up here. Not going to be able to. These guys are not going to be able to hold for long, especially because you can see that all around the infantry of Khand is pretty much destroyed. You can see more Nurniag infantry routing, getting charged down. Yeah, right here. Yeah, it looks like just Harad and Arnor just absolutely butchered Khan's infantry without too many losses, to be honest. Their main casualties are right here, where the Earls are still fighting strong against these bodyguard, dismounted Dune Knights, and Arthedain men-at-arms. Trying to sneak their way through, it looks like. They may be able to, but they're probably just going to get stuck right there and cut down. But they will still be able to take out quite a few because they are, of course, a melee cav. The balance of power is at 51 to 58, so it is still very, very close. And still the skirmish phase continues over there between Rhun and Isengard. Just look how many of the poor Harada marchers were just absolutely shot down pretty much instantaneously by those Dalian marksmen. Looks like the catapult of Bobo 16K was actually taken out by the ballista, by the way. Take a look over here. The Royal Guard are finally have noticed the Muhad tribesmen, but I believe the Muhad tribesmen had actually run out of javelins, so this is why they actually were committed against these Royal Guard. The Muhad tribesmen will actually be cut down really quickly by the Royal Guard, but they may be able to do a little bit of damage just because they are AP. You can see that, oh look at that, that is so terrible, because the Dalian Paladins are 1300 florins, not a unit you want to lose like that to javelins. There still are 31 left, but still. You actually see it looks like there were quite a few of the dismounted Earls taken out by javelins as well. He's trying to retreat them. It looks like he's trying to retreat them to a more defensive position. Is he really just going to try to like run them all the way back here in this canyon? I don't know. It's a rather interesting idea. I mean, I would try, if I was me, I'd probably try somehow to get over to Rhun, but I don't think you actually can. So maybe that's not a bad idea after all. still is one unit of Nerniag infantry that actually has not taken a single loss. I believe they are out of ammo, though. Yes, they are, so they're just kind of standing up here in loose formation. And it looks like the Dunedain Rangers, dismounted Dunedain Knights, are coming up to take them out. Earls actually were able to escape, and they're just running amok now, charging into a lot of units like these Dunedain Bodyguard. However, it looks like they are maybe doomed right here. Yes, cornered by the bodyguards, what's left of the Knights of Innuminos, and the Dunedain Bodyguard. They will get cut down. They're wavering, and they're broken. Yep, that's it. So right now, it looks like Harad and Arnor are just trying to like reform their lines, probably going to go after what's left of Dale, and then try to work their way over to Rhun. So this will actually be... Oh, the Moon Tribesmen actually escaped from the Royal Guard. This actually will be rather interesting to see. I don't know if the Spartan is actually going to try to retreat this unit of Royal Guard all the way back there with his other elites, or if he's just going to leave them up here, or just like kind of like throw them away against all the units over here. Because they will be able to do decently, I guess, in a choke point, but if he just throws them out here in this main battle area, they will get cut down and surrounded. Well, surrounded and cut down. It's a bit backwards. Yes, looks like Arnor is just moving forward all of his army right now, trying to chase down these Nerniag infantry. Let's see. I don't know what Harad... It looks like Harad is just pretty much doing the same thing as well. Harad really does not have a whole lot left. Arnor surprisingly does have a lot left. Yeah, Harad doesn't have a ton left. He mostly just has those trollmen. So he did take a lot of casualties fighting against Dale, both Dale and Khand, but really the main mistake that was made was Khand pushing out too far, which he pushed out too far without the support of his allies like Dale. Dale tried to push out later and help, but it really just ended up being bad for both of them because they were both surrounded by themselves and taken out. Actually looks like what's left of this unit of Harad Marchers are trying to fire at those Royal Guard, who are going to return fire, and if they do, then this Harad Marcher unit is just completely going to be melted. Oop, yep, they're returning fire. Trollmen marching forward. And there may actually be an infantry fight going on over here, finally, between Isengard and Rhun. No, actually. Surprisingly, it looks like he's not going to target. No, he is kind of targeting those Uruk-hai pikemen. Looks like he is also definitely going to target those Uruk-hai crossbows, which is definitely a good idea. Not too sure why he's using fire arrows. They do, of course, do a little bit more damage. Well, maybe, I don't know, a little bit. But they are way more inaccurate, so I tend to only use normal arrows. Looks like a lot of Uruk-hai infantry were taken out by some ballista shots right there. So that's definitely a good thing for Rhun. Ooh, the ballista taking out pikemen now. Yes, he actually is going to march forward, but again, just like what happened with Khan and Dale, he's pushing up forward by himself, which, I mean, there's really no different thing he can do, because both of his allies are pretty much destroyed by this point. So it looks like he's just going to try to take out Isengard, hopefully, and then try to hopefully have enough men left to deal with Harad and Arnor. But yeah, it's like I said, Harad can do a lot of damage. You saw them take out a lot of those Khand and Dalian units, but like I said, they're really not that survivable. You can see that really, it seemed like just a couple of minutes ago they had a lot left, but right now they really don't have much at all. They just got some Trollmen, a couple Southron Warband, and some just random units here and there. Tribesmen fighting against those Royal Guard again. Looks like Arnor is actually going to go to help out Isengard rather than trying to take out what is left of Dale. Not a bad idea. Still rather surprised, I guess, by what Dale is doing. Don't actually know what's going on right there. Maybe he desynced or something. I don't think he did. I feel like Bobo 16k would have told me. I don't know. Looks like, yeah, they still do have ammo. I was gonna say they might be out of ammo, but no, they're fine. It looks like the Alok Gamprim are going to move forward. Now, these guys are actually very underrated in my opinion. They can do work against heavily armored units because they are, of course, AP. And if they can set up, they actually are very, very good on the defense as well, which makes Rhun a very, very tough faction to take out in a siege defense. Over here you can see the Scion Room fighting against some pikemen, who are backed up by some Uruk-hai infantry, but unless he commits these Uruk-hai infantry soon, these pikemen will fall. Looks like he is giving them some support though in the form of these Uruk-hai crossbows. 2 Swark skirmishers left. Over here the Loke Flagrim are going to fight against these Delunding Wild Berserkers, who are backed up by some guards of Orthanc. Surprisingly, he is not going to march forward his Loke Gamprim. I guess he's just going to instead opt for getting crossbowed. No, okay, yeah, he is marching them forward now. But he did unfortunately take a volley or 2 before doing so. This actually will be a very interesting fight, the Gamprim against the Uruk-hai pikemen. I feel like the Gamprim would probably win because they do have more troops in the unit and they are AP, but it still will be an interesting battle nevertheless. Over here you can see the Camul's Chosen, more Gamprim fighting against some guards of Orthanc, and some infantry moving forward as well. I think we'll watch this fight for a bit. Actually, might take a screenshot of that. That might be the thumbnail for the video. Wait, hold up. Cool. Oh wait, it looks like Dale is going to move forward his elites now. I'll wait just a couple more seconds before zooming over there. Probably should watch a little bit more of this fight. As you can see, some Uruk-hai infantry marching forward. Because yes, the Uruk-hai pikemen are getting absolutely just butchered by these Loke Gamprim. We're still at 140 and 150. Just absolutely cutting their way through these Uruk-hai pikemen. The AP right there really showing against the heavily armored units of Isengard. Yes, it looks like over here Rhun might actually be able to defeat Isengard. You can see Isengard's lines are starting to buckle and maybe even fall. You can see the Scion Rim are starting to struggle, which is why the Camul's Dragons have been committed here. But if he leaves them here in melee against the pikemen, they will fall. They are a very deadly unit, but he should probably just start cycle charging them rather than keeping them in melee. The catapult's just kind of sitting there. The crossbows are, of course, firing. That unit down to 45. This unit is still relatively healthy, and same with that one. And we'll take a look over here, because actually, yes, this might bode. Yeah, this is going to be very bad for Rhun. You can see a lot of Arnor and even a little bit of Harad marching forward. You can see the Trollmen, the Dunedain Bodyguard, Arthedain Men-at-Arms, Dismounted Arthedain Knights maybe. Oh, the Nazkai. The general unit of Declan Gardner just sitting here, being completely ignored. Oh, wait. Oh man, that was embarrassing. I told you guys I was feeling insane. That was his ally. I am so smart. I'm sorry. Anyway. Okay, yeah, it looks like Bobo 16k only brought forward actually maybe some depleted units of Serpent Guard and maybe some Southern Warband, who were cut down really quickly by these Barding Herd. You can see the Dismounted Earls also marching forward. And then way far behind them you can also see the Dalian Paladins, who are of course very damaged after that brutal javelin, those brutal javelin volleys. Let's take a look over here. I don't know where the Royal Guard actually is. Okay, it's down there, butchering some Harad marchers that were left behind by Bobo 16k. So these Royal Guard actually may be able to get around the flank of Arnor, Harad, and Isengard over here to try and help out Rhun, but it probably isn't going to be that effective. You can actually see Champions of the White Hand are back here as well. Nazkai looks like they're going to be look like they're going to be committed soon. And the flank of the Gamprim is starting to fall, which is why he has committed these Camul's Chosen against these Trollmen of Harad, as well as it looks like some Uruk-hai infantry. And over here you can see that Arnor has got here, so he's going to commit a lot of his infantry as well. Gamprim is still holding strong. They're slowly but surely killing off these infantry and guards of Orthanc. Looks like a lot of Brexy's archers also are being committed because they must be out of ammo. Knights of Anumanos actually charging into the back of these Gamprim, who are still just absolutely butchering the Isengard lines right now. Like I said, they're a very underrated unit that is extremely effective at killing heavily armored units. Actually see the Dunedain bodyguard looks like they're going to try to sneak around and outflank these Lok-Gamperin, which is not a bad idea because if the Camulus Dragon Knights try to charge these bodyguard, if they flank, they will get killed on the spikes, whatever they're called. Stakes, I believe they're, I don't know. But no, it looks like the bodyguard are actually going up here to try to silence these Lok-Narim, who they got absolutely butchered by enemy missile fire right there. But because the bodyguard are kind of unprotected, they are going to get charged in the back by the Camulus Dragon Knights, but it was really a very weak charge, really. He probably should take them out and try it again before the bodyguard completely destroys his archer unit right there. Lok-Flagrim are trying to deal with some of the straggling bodyguard. And over here, the Cyanrim are starting to kind of win against these Uruk-hai infantry and pikemen. Looks like there actually was some Flagrim that managed to sneak through and get in amongst these crossbows, which is definitely very good because the crossbows were taking a heavy toll on those Cyanrim. But a lot of those Lok-Flagrim were going down right there by a charge from the Champions of the White Hand. There was actually only 13 of them left, and they are wavering. Those Flagrim are struggling. But you can see that even still, though, they are cutting down a lot of those Uruk-hai crossbowmen, which is definitely very good for Rhun. I believe I've seen that guy killed 3 dudes already. 4. Let's see how many he can kill before he dies. So he's killed 4. And he's on his 5th. Yeah, Rhun just absolutely excels at taking out heavily armored factions like Isengard. Isengard actually does have a lot of AP melee units, but it looks like he didn't bring a lot of them. Like, he didn't bring any Berserkers. He only brought 1 unit of the Nazgûl. So, rather interesting army composition, I guess you could say it, by Declan Arnor. I mean, the Uruk-hai infantry, of course, aren't AP, and they're a pretty standard unit. They are a very nice, actually, sword and shield unit that can take out a lot of, like, mid to low tier units that are not AP like themselves. But against Rhun, who has a mostly AP in melee, Isengard is probably going to struggle. I actually was very happy to see, ooh, nice cycle charges right there by the Champions of the White Hand. I was very happy to see, actually, that Dale was in this battle, because I actually am a very big fan of Dale. I like playing them a lot. Nazgûl going around for a flank, it looks like they might be trying to take out these Camulus Dragon Knights who are still just in melee against the bodyguard. Don't quite know why. You probably should just be trying to cycle charge, because in melee you pretty much lose the advantage of being on a horse, because the charge bonus, of course. And the Nazgûl actually, I believe, do have a bonus against cavalry. I'm pretty sure the bodyguard do. I don't know. Maybe they do. But, so if the Nazgûl are able to charge right there, they will absolutely just butcher those Dragon Knights. Looks like the Ballistic Crew is actually trying to slow down those bodyguard as well. Over here, the Gamperim are still doing a very nice job against these Uruk-hai infantry. And back here, you can see that Rhun's forces are really starting to buckle. These Lok-Narim are just barely holding back those Arthedain men-at-arms, and over here the flank is getting totally enveloped and wrapped around by these Uruk-hai infantry and Arthedain men-at-arms. And way down here, it looks like the last of the Camulus Chosen are being cut down by the dismounted Dunedain Knights and the Trollmen of Harad, who, like I said before, are very, very deadly. They are AP, of course, as well. And we'll take a look over here, because I think that Dale's elites are starting to come around. Oh, I apologize. Yes, he's got his Dalian Paladins here, his Barding Herd and his Earls. Looks like they're going to charge right into the back of these dismounted Dunedain Knights and these Arnor men-at-arms. He probably should have just done this earlier, because he might have been able to get there and get over to Rhun in time to try to help him out, but I mean, it's still really close. Because over there's not a whole lot left. Isengard is really weak at the moment. Arnor does not have a lot left, and Harad is pretty much gone, besides those Trollmen. It is actually 82 to 87, so still within 5%. A very, very close battle. He's trying to get his dismounted Dunedain Knights out of there. It's a very expensive unit that he does not want to lose getting outflanked like that. But unfortunately, because they left, it led to the breaking and routing of these Arnor men-at-arms, who might have been able to slow the advance of these Dalian forces to cover the retreat of the dismounted Dunedain Knights, but looks like that's not going to happen. So the dismounted Dunedain Knights are probably going to get caught by these Dalian forces right here. So a lot of dead troops right here. A very excellent battle so far. Again, a big thank you to Bobo 16k for sending it to me. He actually sent me another really cool 4v4. Wasn't quite as close, but it was like within 12%, I think. Obviously, I'm not going to say who won. But still, very cool battles. Signrim are pretty much gone now because of those cycle charges. The Flagger that were over here, that there's still 2 of them left fighting against the Uruk-hai crossbows. And the pikemen are still fighting against... Oh yeah, I already said that, sorry. Sorry, someone walked into my room. Yes, and the trollmen of Harad and all the units over there are going to outflank these Ganaprim, who are actually breaking right now. Rather surprising, actually, because they were somewhat healthy. There was like still 56 and like 40 or something, but again, anything getting flanked by Nazkai bodyguard and trollmen will probably rout pretty much instantaneously. So it looks like Rhun is actually pretty much dealt with now as well. It looks like they probably did the best out of all the defenders, I guess you could say. They probably did the best. They probably actually would have been able to defeat Isengard if Arnor and Harad had not come over to help. But again, they were kind of isolated by themselves. They didn't really have a hill to defend. So, I mean, they were able to get some units up on the hill, like the archers and stuff, but still. The Barding Herd, the dismounted Earls and Royal Guard are trying to pursue these dismounted Dunedain Knights. But they're kind of getting out of formation as they do it. They were able, it looks like they are able, yeah, they were able to catch them. So the dismounted Dunedain Knights are going to get cut down after all. So that was unfortunate, rather, for Kerrigan. I probably would have just left my dismounted Dunedain Knights on that hill just to get a little bit better of a position, I guess, to defend yourself, because they still did have 70 men in the unit. They would have been able to do okay, I guess, up on that hill. So yeah, I mean, it's really close, because it just really is too bad that the Spartan didn't notice that his paladins were getting javelined that much, because I feel like it still could go either way, and if his paladins hadn't been javelined, I really do feel like there would be a really, really high chance of Dale winning. I mean, there still is a decent chance, but I don't know. I mean, it's still really close. I haven't seen the end of this battle, so I don't know. Oh, I just don't know if there's enough. Yeah, I don't know if Dale has enough. They're going to have to form like a tiny noob circle or noob square if they want to chance it all, though. Or get up against a wall. Still a few guards of Orthanc left. Not a lot of Uruk-hai infantry or pikemen left, though. They were really, really struggling against the runic forces. Looks like a lot of the champions, or that might be the Borg skirmishers, actually were ballisted to death. We'll very slowly get a cinematic view as we go over there to look at what Dale is doing. Dunedain Rangers in the lead, not surprising, as they are the lightest armored out of the Arnor units, so they are of course the swiftest on foot. Oh, the Camul's Dragon Knights were actually able to escape with 10 men left to tell the tale, including the general. So this actually is going to be very, very good if he can actually get his cycle charging together. He may... Yeah, I mean, it's just so close. If he can cycle charge, and if Dale can form a nice noob square or circle or something, there's still a very, very good chance of this alliance winning. Very strange alliance at that, because Rhun and Dale have some pretty bad history, to be honest. Which I keep saying for Dale to form a noob square. I don't like noob squares. In like main pitch battles with your entire army, but like this late in the game when you only have like a few units left, I'm fine with that, to be honest. I mean, it's pretty much the same thing as just backing up against a wall. Looks like, yeah, both Dale and Rhun's generals are still alive. Royal Guard are of course very good in melee. They're still at 42. They believe the unit at full strength is like 52 or something, but by now they probably don't have hit points. It's kind of hard to say. They've been in quite a lot of melee, but not a ton, I guess you could say. Barding Herd, of course, are nice because they do a very good job of holding the line. They're a nice halberdier that is AP. Dismounted Earls aren't great. They do have hit points, like 17 attack, 42 defense or something. So they can't get a lot of killing done, but they can hold the enemy back for quite some time. So paired with the Barding Herd, who have some nice killing power, will be very effective. And back here, of course, the Paladins are insanely good, but they're not going to be quite as good because after getting javelined. I think I'll go ahead and just speed this up. Oh wait, no, I was literally just going. Yeah, I'm going to speed it up. I'm going to speed it up really quickly just to wait for Arnor to get here. Not quite sure why the Spartan is moving forward his units. I thought he had a fine position, but maybe he just wants to get, maybe he just wants to do like a last charge or something. Barding Herd going in first. Oh, actually, I don't know now. I actually do know now why he is moving his units forward. It's because those crossbows of Declan Gardener. I didn't realize that he had a decent amount of them left. These Barding Herd are going to get shot down very quickly by those crossbows. So he probably should have ran the Earls in first. I mean, the crossbows do take away the shield bonus, but still. Arthurian men-at-arms, these depleted units will get cut down by the Barding Herd, but not far behind him you can see a lot of Arcane infantry, more Arthurian men-at-arms. Not a lot of Arcane infantry, I guess, but a decent amount. I mean, that unit's still at 123, so. Earls coming in as well to help out the Barding Herd. The Paladins are kind of just going off by themselves, just going rogue. I don't know why. Yeah, it looks like the Kumul's Dragon Knights are over there as well. Hopefully they're going to go after the crossbows. Or the Nazkai or something. You just get a charge off and then run away, but I don't know if they're going to. Looks like the pikemen are trying to move around so they can outflank the Dale forces. And here come the Trollmen. The Trollmen are, of course, like I said a million times already, insanely good. But you can see that the Arthurian men-at-arms have been are really struggling against the Barding Herd and Dismounted Earls. You can see this unit of 68 is actually even shaken, so if he maybe commits these Royal Guard or flanks with something, he might be able to actually break this unit of 63, which would be very, very good for Dale. Ooh, Dalian Paladins versus Trollmen. I really don't know who's going to win this fight, actually, just because at full strength, the Paladins would probably win, like, without much trouble. But because the Paladins were at 31, now at 24, I probably would have to favor the Trollmen of Harad winning this battle. This particular one. Especially because it looks like those bodyguard may be wanting to try to flank around. You can see, I mean, the Trollmen are starting to drop. The Paladins are very, very good. Royal Guard fighting against those dismounted Dunedain Knights. Looks like there's some Rangers going around. Yeah, this will be the nail in the coffin for these Dalian Paladins who are down to 11. Trollmen probably would have been able to deal with them by themselves, but it's always nice to get a charge in the back to help out your units. Oh, that poor Dalian Paladin. 88 to 95, so still within 7%, but I feel like it's kind of obvious who's going to win now. I mean, here in the main line, you can see that Dale is actually broken through. Those Arthurian men-at-arms actually did break, but the Trollmen are here cutting down these Earls. And the Barding Herd still at 55 and 98. I don't know. The crossbows are still there. There's a decent amount of Arcane infantry back there as well. Oh man, I just don't know. I mean, I feel like probably Arnor, Harad, and I don't know what's going on right now. I can't remember anything. What was the third attacking army? It was Arnor, Harad, and Isengard. I was looking at these Isengard units for forever, and I could not even think of what they were called. Wow, I'm sorry, guys. Anyway, so yeah, I probably feel like Isengard, Arnor, and Harad are going to win. You can see Another nice flank by those trollmen. Probably going to break the Barding Herd and Earls pretty soon. And I don't know if you saw, you probably did, Rhun's general going down to some guards of Orthanc. I definitely feel like, I don't even know where they are. Barding Herd are actually charging down nicely. I don't even know where the Camille's Dragon Knights were killed. I feel like the Runic player probably could have done a lot better with his Dragon Knights if he had done so, if he had actually been able to charge, like cycle charge better earlier on. He probably would have been able to take, or to kill a lot more of Isengard's forces. But yeah, that's just how it goes. Railguard are cutting down those Dunedain Rangers. But looks like Trollmen are trying. I don't know where they're going. There's two of them over here, but then the other ones are all fighting over there. Yep. Earls are breaking. There's only two of them left. Earls are breaking. Barding Herd are breaking. And Barding Herd are wavering. So yes, looks like that is probably going to be the end for the... I guess we could call them defenders? I don't know if it's technically a siege or not. Ooh. And the... the alien general cut down by a Dunedain bodyguard. But the Royal Guard are, of course, going to fight to the last man. They're not going to rout. At least I don't think they would. But surrounded like this, they are going to be cut down very quickly. Just stun locked and sliced in the back. And taken out almost instantaneously. Last one killed by a trollman of Harad. Nice. So yeah, very, very fun battle to commentate. Again, a big thank you to Bobo16k for sending it to me. Hopefully I'll be able to actually complete a match. I tried to get a match done all last weekend, but unfortunately was not able to even complete a single one. What with crashes, internet problems, and things like that. But yeah, seemed like it was a very fun battle. It definitely was fun to commentate over. Don't actually know where, like, what's still. Oh, what? This is the Camille's Dragon Knights were all the way over here. Wow, I am confused. There's even some of the ballistic crew left over. Well, I think I'm just gonna speed this last stand up. Still are 7 Camille's Dragon Knights just getting stabbed over and over by the guards of Orthanc and not dying. Who even have a bonus against cavalry. That just proves how pretty insanely OP cavalry is at the moment. Really hope they do change that in the next patch. Cavalry is a little too good in my opinion at the moment. Because, I mean, I do, like, cavalry should be good. Should be really good, but if you're a non-cavalry focused faction, then you're kind of screwed if anyone brings, like, Rhun or Arnor even. So, Bobo16k getting the most kills on his team, getting 2,080 kills. It looks like he also got the most prisoners. And Brexy getting the most kills for his team, but not far behind was the Spartan, and Revan was actually not that far behind him either. So we'll take a quick look at the exact casualties. Serpent Guard got 132. Lancer's actually getting 181, probably charging after some archers or routing troops, maybe. Dismounted Serpent Guard, some of them doing very well, others doing not so good. Trollman of Harad did very, very well. One getting 432 kills, the other getting 270. Roger Marcher's not doing good, and looks like the Southern Warband didn't do bad either. Catapult only getting 2 kills though. But yeah, it was, again, like I said, now for the 3rd time, a very cool battle. Fun to commentate. Again, big thank you to Bobo16k. So, if you guys enjoyed the video, please comment, like, and subscribe. If you didn't, just tell me what I did wrong, and I'll be sure to fix it for the next one. And I will see you guys in the next one. So farewell wherever you fare, till your eyes receive you at your journey's end.